a position would we be leaving her in if we were to do
That
this terrible
depends
thing?
on what color underwear Raazu is wearing.
I mean, Raazu strikes me as a commando gal.
Me too.
You're not
Plate
wrong.
mail.
In which case, how humorous depends on how long it's been since Raazu last had a bath.
Mm,
Probably.
I still think we just take an axe to the roots.
The problem there is the only axes you guys have are small throwing axes.
yeah, we don't have like wood cutting
Yeah,
axes.
we tried that, actually. I don't know.
You would
how-
need a very heavy wood cutting axe, or even a battle axe would work if you had one, or something to saw with, something serrated that you could saw through the roots with.
All right, when we get out of here, guys, remind me that we need to get a couple. I need to like start carrying a couple of like basic hand tools with me.
Like a handsaw.
Yeah, like that's a thing that I'm going to start carrying if we can acquire one.
Okay.
Because like,
For now, though,
I mean,
the plan
that's
is for
the time.
Raazu to squeezle her way down into the roots and use all of her upper arm strength to try to wrench this shield. And you manage to inch it backwards a little bit to give yourself more leverage. And you're not going to bend this shield upward with just your strength, but you do manage to find some give and give Windy a place to blow with gusts. Birdie is down in the roots on the other side of this, and you catch a face full of dust and debris and being blown in, and flecks of rust and the odor of iron. And you can tell that what's in this bundle is a suit of armor.
So
I wonder why he was trying to protect it then.
5 minutes to take my armor off, and then will be 10 minutes to put it back on once.
That's assuming somebody grabs you by the ankles and kind of helps you get out of these roots.
I mean, we're like just obviously I can't do it, right? But
Can I reach in and pull this armor out like one piece at a time and drag it back up and like pass it off to someone else behind me as I'm?
Yeah, you could do that.
All right, yeah, I'll start doing that. I'll start handing this stuff up piece by piece.
Piece by piece. And I'm reminded of every time I've ever driven through a drive-thru and was like pulled up a little too far away from the window and was like, oh, I can still reach the window, and then I hurt myself like handing my money over. That's what you're experiencing right now. As you reach in and you find a heavily rotted tunic to the point that you can't tell the colors that it originally had. A pair of heavily rotted boots that were once probably very nice. A battered and rusted helmet. A pair of now unusable greaves and gauntlets. And you reach in expecting to find a knife, a sword, a hilt, scabbard, something. But patting around, you realize that's the last of what was in this bundle. Was this useless pile of armor. There's no weapon.
Strange. Here, help me back out.
Yeah.
And with some straining and groaning, you manage to pull Raazu out, only slightly strained and scraped from her adventure into the roots.
All right.
You look at this pile of armor. Obviously, none of it is in any shape to be used anymore, but definitely not made for a human. Made for someone of human proportions, but it's too large for that. Like, Raazu and Adrex could both slip these gauntlets on and have plenty of room inside to wiggle their fingers. You'd need to have a 9-foot tall man to wear this.
Well,
10 minutes to put Raz's armor back on.
let's just carry it with us in a bundle for now, just in case we come across, like, if we manage to get into a situation where we've found a way to rescue these people who have turned to gold, and this belonged to one of them, maybe we could buy some goodwill,
or we could just leave it here because it's garbage. Birdie would say, except he can't speak.
Birdie raises up a finger, and Wendy just says, well, if there's no objections.
Birdie is stomping up and down, literal steam coming out of his adorable little ears.
Kobolds don't have ears. They have ear holes.
They have a cloaca.
Gross.
You made that word up.
He didn't, and it's gross.
He didn't. It's really gross.
Snake.
So, who's actually carrying this armor? There's no plate, there's no mail. It's not a complete set, but there is a tunic and breeches and a pair of boots, a couple of
I'll
gauntlets.
carry it. It's my idea.
Okay.
Now that I think on it, like the dwarf, the mummy lord that was down here in this room was a dwarf, right? Like,
But dwarves were smaller than humans. Like, I'm 95% certain on that one.
like was this mummy, like the mummy lord down here, like he was like proportioned like a dwarf, right?
Not as I recall.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like been a month ago since that happened. I don't know.
Well, you said this armor is ginormous, right?
It's proportioned for a human, but it would have to be like a 9-foot tall human.
And it's all in very, very serious disrepair, right?
Yeah, it's worthless as armor now. Like, Adrex could put this helmet on and it would fall down over his eyes.
That sounds like fun.
No.
Alright, so the blind condition means you can't see.
We have some experience with that one.
I just like the idea of Adrex just running into one. Just bang! Helmet first. You guys want to kill Mummy Lord?
I guess that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Do we want to rest before we kill the Mummy Lord?
That sounds
Or do
like
you
a
wanna-
really great idea.
Do we want to kill the Mummy Lord then rest?
I mean, if we rest somewhere defensible so that they can't, like, throw cave bees at us, or we can't see.
I mean, the mummy lord seems pretty disinterested in us now, so... How intelligent are mummies, is the question.
Well, intelligent enough to hurl spells at us.
And run away.
Yeah, but Birdie does that. Both of those
Fair
things.
point. Fair point.
And Birdie again is stamping the ground. And...
No comments from the plucked chicken.
I'm sorry.
Birdie would say, except he can't
He
speak.
can't.
So what's
Listen, you
next?
gotta give me this. For once, I'm not the party member who can't do something.
What's next?
Yeah, I think the best idea we've got is we get away from these routes because they seem ill-advised. We maybe head over into this hallway and we bunk down for a rest. How does that sound to you guys?
Yeah.
Wherever is fine with me.
Sounds good to me.
Into this hallway here?
Adrex
This hallway
needs
over
an
here,
exit,
yeah.
apparently.
Are you still wearing the helmet?
No.
First, I need to know what you guys are doing with this door before taking a rest here.
I mean, I can tighten it closed.
That sounds like a good idea.
That sounds like a
Only
plan
we
for
got-
me.
Only we had a gold dwarf.
And who's
Or like
taking
a regular dwarf that we could turn.
who's taking watches?
Oh, we're doing a long rest? I thought we were just doing a short rest.
Is that what you're doing? Short rest?
Yeah, I think
thought
I
we were
haven't-
short rest. Yeah.
Well, here's the problem: is I have no other. I'm out of hit dice.
I think we take a Raazu, maybe you'll disagree with this idea, but I think we take a short rest because otherwise we're giving that mummy way too much time to deal with us.
fair.
And
Yeah.
Raazu.
Do we have any healing potions or anything that we can stuff down Razu's throat?
Like
Yeah.
I've got a
I got-
couple.
I
I've got
just
one.
used a healing potion, so
Do you have any lay on hands left?
I do. But I would rather save some of that for.
Inevitable mummy rot.
Yeah, I want to save some of that for mummy rot.
Okay.
I'm going to
Adrex.
save. I can burn 15. That'll give me 2 shots of removing. What?
Adrex hands over a potion of superior healing.
What do I get for that?
8d4 plus 8.
D4. Okay.
It's pretty superior healing right there.
Try that first.
Go ahead and take the benefits of the short rest. As you guys scrape
84
together what
plus
meager
8.
resources you still have to take on one of the toughest undead monsters in the master manual.
Yeah, and I'll give you my greater healing. I'll hold on to my regular healing just in case someone goes down.
Okay.
But you can have the of another 4d4 plus 4.
Okay. That fireball, that fire really hurt.
Okay, Raazu looks in much better state after that short rest.
And Adrex, I don't think you've used your healer's kit on us today, have you? That was yesterday.
It's per long rest.
Per long
No,
rest.
it's per short rest, I think.
Oh,
me
is
double
it per
check.
short rest?
I thought
I
it was
think
per long rest, but I also
think
thought
it's
you
long
hadn't
rest.
used it yet today.
He hasn't used it on me. But I
Yeah,
think
it's
he's
per
used it-
person. It's not.
But they can only gain the benefit of it, like, once per some kind of a rest?
Mm-hmm.
I have so many things.
We
Yeah.
decided to not
it's-
use tokens years ago to represent these kinds of resources because there were no persistent items on the table. Although now Tabletop Simulator does allow for persistent items across saves and loads.
Really?
So
Yeah, it's short or long rest.
Short
Oh, okay,
or
great.
long
Then I
rest?
definitely
Oh.
want it.
Okay.
I'm good on.
All
I'm
right,
good
hold
on
on,
keeping
hold
dice,
on.
so.
I got 31 plus 6.
I need you to restock that.
Yeah, because
Thank you.
I am also out of hit dice.
Wait, how many of those healers' kits charges do
I will tell you.
Yeah.
I have 6.
you... Okay.
So Raazu wants one. Wendy wants one.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I think I will pass because I feel like it'd be better. It's not great for me.
Why is it not great for you? Are you at full hit points?
No, I'm not. But I feel like we might run into it. We still got like 20 more steps of a ladder to climb, and I don't know when you'll be able to re-up your healer's kit.
Fair.
Fair.
concern.
Right, that is because I always add the wrong one. That's 8 plus your level hit points back for Wendy,
Okay.
and Raazu is
Thank you, by the way.
5 plus your level.
17. Raazu looks to be in much better state.
Yes, I am doing pretty good.
Yeah, okay, I think we can take a mummy out. I think we can take a mummy now.
famous last words.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
I don't know, I guess I got plenty of spell charges in me, so this thing is about to eat some smites.
So, are mummy lords weak to fire? Is the question? Because I don't know. I don't think
Mummies were weak to fire,
right.
Yeah.
but this is the
So-
Lord of Mummies. Maybe
Right.
you would need Lordly Fire.
Lordly
Yeah, maybe.
fire of lordly caliber.
Uh-huh.
Alright. So I guess we go back up the stairs to the third floor.
Okay.
We get back up and it's bricked up and it says no visitors today.
Don't poke it.
It's
It's like
bricked up and
wall
it points
get
to
wrecked.
us saying danger on the other side.
Uh-huh.
Lol, get wrecked.
Now it just makes us feel bad.
Is this guy still here?
No.
Awesome.
Alright. He hasn't replaced any of his henchmen, has he?
No, their smoldering wreckage is still laying in the corners of the room.
Hey, Birdie, you want to hand out another set of fire arrows?
Sure. Hey, Brick Road. Question. How many? I've only got the one thing of oil. How many fire arrows do you think I could make with one thing of oil? Because I made 6 before. It's like literally just dipping into the fire oil, into the oil. I don't want
This
to make.
sounds like a net hack question.
That is
Right.
well, in a NetHack question, you can make as many arrows, 99 at a time.
Oof.
That seems a little OP.
I'll say
yeah.
6 with 1 vial of oil is probably reasonable, because what you have to
Okay.
do is you've got to soak strips of cloth in the oil, then wrap it around the head of your arrow and light it.
All right. Well, then I will make 6 fire arrows.
Okay.
And I don't have any more oil, so
I'll hand you one of my oil.
all right.
I'll tell you this: if you can't kill this mummy lord with 6 fire arrows, then you're not going to kill it. So.
I just want to warn everyone. I'm still dominable.
So I'll
get that
give.
back on our long rest.
Do we want to? I'm assuming Wendy's going to want to actually punch the mummy lord, or do you want to shoot the mummy lord? How do you want to handle this?
I mean, I feel like I'll just stab the mummy lord a bit.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll give 3 fire. I'll give 3 of the prepared arrows to Red,
Okay.
Okay.
and probably should set up a torch or something if we're going to be. It's so rare we get to prepare the ground before we take on something nasty like this.
He's had an hour to prepare as well, so
Yeah, but what's he gonna do in there?
What indeed?
what's this?
I'm just saying, why don't we just lay a torch over here, and then if it gets put out, it gets put out.
Yeah.
Put us out.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'll
sounds
stand
good.
next to it.
All right, spread out. Don't be in cave beef formation.
Don't
Yeah.
be in cave before.
I just like the idea of all of that
Raazu.
deliberation, and Adrex just
Yes.
stands next
The
to
door at the top of
Birdie
the stairs.
More.
Still stands slightly ajar the way that it was left when the mummy lord came at you previously.
Opening
You
inward.
could- Opening slightly inward, and you can see where tangles of roots, again, are poking through the walls of this area. But you do not see the mummy lord with just a cursory glance.
All right. Ready and push this door open.
Push the door open. You can on your initiative.
Uh-oh.
Rolling right now.
Uh-oh. Why?
Oh, the die tried to be a 1. No! No! No, it was a 16! And fuck you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see one over there.
No, it was a 16. You rolled the die. No, I'm taking a 16. It's stuck on the 16.
Is this the one you rolled here?
It was
No,
a 16.
he's not joking. He did genuinely roll a 60.
It rolled a.
It's a 1
I
now?
just hit it with my die.
Oh.
I moused over it. It said a 16, and then
Yeah, no, it was
rolled
a 16. It was fully stopped.
You know, all you have to do is highlight it and then push R once, and it rolls it for you.
Nodal, I did that. Nodal didn't. Nodal should take the 1.
Wow, after I stuck up for you. You know what? I changed my mind. I didn't hit shit. Put that one over there.
So, Birdie, you watch
We're-
Raazu approach the door, and the plan is for you guys to spread out so you're not all within insect range, and then Razu's going to push the door open. But you have the initiative. Raazu has not done that yet.
All right. I'm going to light an arrow.
hmm
And you said we could kind of do that as a free action. And then
If you have an open source of fire nearby, you can. If you're
Right.
standing next to this torch or to Adrex, yes, you
Yeah.
can.
I'm going to light an arrow and sit right here and then move here
Mhm.
away from Adrex. And then I will hold an action to shoot the mummy when it gets next to one of my party members.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
That's going to bring us to Windy.
All right. Yeah, I'm just going to use my bonus action to, essentially buff up my dagger, and then I'm going to use my main action to dodge, and I'm going to wait for Raazu.
All right, Raazu, what are you doing?
Push the door open.
Going to push the door open.
Yep.
And you do that. The door opens, and you're holding the light of your torch. You can see the room. It looks similar to the previous mummy chamber, except maybe slightly larger. The roots are slightly thicker. In fact, they're so thick in this room, when you look up, you can't see the stone of the ceiling. They've kind of tangled and grabbed hold of the ceiling above you.
Okay. Any mummy in evidence?
Not from where you're standing on the top of the stairs, no.
So then here, dodge.
Any mummies or mummy-like beings?
Okay, that's going to trigger his held action.
Bees.
Does my dodge come out before or after?
It's not going to matter.
It's a bee-mancer. You can only cast bees.
That'd be pretty good, right?
There's a Swarm Druid in Quarry. It was pretty good.
Raazu, as you step into the room, you don't see the Mummy Lord in evidence, but you do see swirls of dust along the ground, very reminiscent of how you've seen these mummies move. And materializing behind you on the stairs is a gargantuan shield and huge cudgel. And you are standing right in its shadow. And all of your companions are standing on the other side of it.
Yep.
And you're dodging?
Yes, I'm going to dodge.
You're going to dodge. I'm going to now need
18 saving throws.
No, I do not need 18 saving throws.
Oh.
The Mummy Lord coalesces from the swirling dust in the room. Right next to you.
Sure.
And that's going to bring us... How many actions did that take?
I mean,
Okay, that's
can
going
I
to bring
hit it
us
from here?
to... that does trigger Birdie's... Yeah, that triggers Birdie's held action. You were holding an action to fire, correct?
right.
Okay.
I get it.
Oh,
round.
okay. That's a 23 to hit.
You have sharpshooter, is that correct?
No, I do not.
You do not, because this thing definitely
Okay.
has 3/4 cover. Because you've got the giant shield in the way, and Raazu's big form, and all these tree roots.
All right. Well, I rolled a 23.
A 22?
23.
23. 23, I'll just barely hit.
Yay!
Nice.
Just hits.
Oh, I dice. So that is a total of 34 magic type piercing damage.
All right.
And he is been struck by a fire arrow. I don't know if that does any particular.
Give me the
like,
piercing
extra
damage first. You said 34?
Yeah, 34.
Good
And
shot.
how much was I rolling for fire damage last week? I think it was just a D6. Roll a D6 for the fire damage.
4.
4, and this wasn't a critical hit. That was just your sneak attack?
Yeah.
Raazu,
Hey.
where the fire arrow hits this mummy, you see it reel back, and its shoulder and most of its left arm gets engulfed in this conflagration of flame. That's a word, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you smell the burnt stench of the thing. It's definitely vulnerable to this sort of damage. But unlike the lesser mummies you fought, the fire doesn't catch. A swirl of dust kicks up from the thing's feet, chokes out the fire on its arm. The attack was incredibly effective and almost deflected by the guardian behind you on the stairs. But the fire does not stay. And then the Mummy Lord attacks you.
Sure.
That's not the critical hit I was looking for. Are you dodging?
Yes, I am.
You are dodging. That's definitely not the critical hit I was looking for. I have a 13 to hit.
Nope.
Did you put your armor back on after your Roots adventure?
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
He very specifically said that.
Yeah.
A few times.
And now the Mummy Lord gets its actual turn.
Okay.
Ooh.
Boo mummies.
Daddies only.
Raazu.
Hey.
Actually, Birdie.
Yeah.
I need you to make a DC Wisdom 16 Wisdom saving throw.
Not near Raazu for this one, sorry.
No one's near Raazu.
I passed.
You passed. Okay.
Right.
You feel this thing's dreadful glare that feels like it pierces through Raazu's armor and through the light shining off this guardian all the way down the room. For a moment, there's nothing in the universe except you and this thing burning its eyes through you. But you manage to shake off the effect, and you are not terrified of this thing. And Raazu, the Mummy Lord, is going to attack you with its rotted fists.
Sure.
That's a little bit better. That's going to be a 21.
That'll hit.
Seven points of bludgeoning damage. Plus 18 points of necrotic damage from its rotting fist.
Have to get count.exe.
And I need a DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
So that was 8 and 17. 25. You said a Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
20 something.
20 something. As the
Yeah,
thing's
23.
rotted fist. And even if you failed it, you're immune to disease, so.
Yep. I mean, all things considered, this is probably fine.
You think so?
Eh. Probably. We'll see.
It's going to bring us to Vindy.
All right, so, could you paint me a word picture of this door up here?
This door, it's open, and you can, if you had eyes, you could see into the room.
Okay. How big is this thing?
How big is this thing? It's big enough that you can't get up the stairs without disrupting it somehow. You're not able to
So
move
can I-
through its squares.
Without, I can't move through its squares.
Mm-mm.
Can I move above it? That was my question there.
Oh,
It's
no,
on
there's-
like a staircase.
There's not enough space. This is a large creature taking up all four of those squares.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm in that case going to back up next to Birdie
Okay.
and swap out my dagger for a bow.
Okay.
Belay that, because Birdie, the thing that I want to do isn't what Birdie has. It's, oh yeah, no, it is. Yeah, I go back to Birdie. I'm gonna take Birdie's arrows. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head over here. I'm gonna light the arrows up, and I'm going to then.
You could light an
head
arrow
back
on
here.
Birdie because he's got one already lit.
Oh, great.
Okay, he's already lit.
Then
his.
yeah, I'm gonna grab 2 of your arrows, Birdie. Sorry, and I'm gonna fire them at this guy.
Okay. I'm giving
I don't-
him. You have sharpshooter, don't you?
I do.
But you also are firing blindly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and make those rolls to hit. If you get lucky, you might kill this mummy lord here. Wouldn't that be exciting?
That would be extremely exciting.
It doesn't really
That
have
would
any more
be-
of its terrible spells left.
A 17 to hit?
17 to hit. 17 does hit. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did you already
Yay!
factor in it having? Or you don't need to worry about cover. Never mind. Yeah, 17 hits.
Yeah.
So D8 for
Sharpshooters.
the bow, D6 for the fire.
Ouch.
Oof. 1 fire, 1 shot from the bow, and so the bow comes to 9 piercing,
9.
magical. Yep.
Okay.
And then second fire,
How much fire from that first arrow?
just 1.
Just 1. Okay.
And then 21 to hit
21 will hit.
for another 1 fire, and 14 magical piercing.
Okay.
I do not have any more prepared fire arrows. I gave the other 3 to Red.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
Raazu, once again, these 2 arrows find purchase in this mummy, and you see it recoil from the shock of the burns, which seem greatly effective. But in both cases, this swirling dust chokes the flames out, so the thing does not remain on fire.
Okay, let's see how it likes thunder damage.
Windy, moving or staying put?
Well, now that I didn't use my movement to go over to the torch, I will instead use it to go back here.
Okay. Wait, to where?
Right here.
Right there. Raazu,
Yep.
let's get a DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
14.
Oh, that was 2 hits, by the way, Brett, in case he has to roll concentration.
He does not.
Nice.
It's a 14 save.
I'm triple checking this spell because this spell 100% feels like it should require concentration,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. And you know what?
There's a couple of cleric spells like that.
I'm gonna quadruple check it because it's complete bullshit that this spell doesn't require concentration. And
Yeah,
if
it's
any
that
of
one
you
in
people-
spiritual weapon.
If any of you people use this in the next campaign, I'm gonna be like, no, that totally requires concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna quadruple check it because there are some. I have the spellbook app on my phone, which is what I like to use. But there are examples of spells that have not been transcribed correctly.
Completely correctly.
But no,
I
this
feel
spell
like-
does not require concentration.
Yeah, there are
What?
some cleric spells, because clerics are supposed to be able to wade into melee, they did try to balance them around not always needing concentration.
How'd you do on that
Yeah,
save,
there's
Raazu?
like 5
It's a
cleric
14.
spells that should have concentration and don't.
You are within 10 feet of yourself.
All I can see this spell being cast
14.
as a ritual.
You see this movement under the thing's wrappings that have its face wrapped up, that you can tell that its jaw is opening and closing, and you hear it utter a word, and the word burns into your psyche, and it's the most horrific, blasphemous word you've ever heard.
okay.
And it causes your whole body to go rigid, and you are stunned until the end of the Mummy Lord's next turn.
Okay, that's not good.
And
Never mind, I
so
was
it's your turn now, but you're very stunned.
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
I'm going to go get a snack now.
Yeah, that would be the word.
Adrex, you're up.
Hey,
Look,
how you doing?
Raazu's still holding a light source, so you can see clearly in the room. You see her heft her trident. She's about to go in for a strike, and then something stops her dead, and she's just unable to move.
Mm-hmm. Can I hurl a javelin at it?
You can, but it has 3/4 cover because you're
Three-quarters
aiming
cover,
up the
that's what,
stairs
-5?
through Raazu's in the way, and this giant guardian's in the way.
All right. So that's what, -5?
Yes,
All right, you'll do it on your end, I guess, huh?
I'll do it on my
Yeah. Well, why not? That's why not. That's probably what, 7, 6. Second attack.
Mhm.
Second javelin.
The sequel to Javelin.
That is a 27.
It's a hit.
Minus whatever.
That will hit.
3/4. Will hit. Excellent. Oh. 6 piercing, and please make a wisdom saving throw.
6 piercing damage, and I think it's good at these. 27.
Just makes it.
Okay.
Just makes it, but he still takes an additional 7 damage.
Okay.
Third attack. Birdie, you said you're out of fire arrows?
Right.
Oh, you
Well,
can't speak. And Raazu is stunned. Windy can't really see it. Yeah, all right. Birdie, fire a regular arrow, I guess.
No, okay.
Birdie, fire a regular arrow at it.
I guess.
I guess.
Is stunned incapacitated the same thing as incapacitated?
If you are stunned, you are incapacitated.
Yes, so you don't get sneak attack here.
Birdie stunned? Wait.
Raazu
No,
is stunned.
Raazu is stunned.
So
Raazu
Birdie
is
does not get
stunned.
Sneak attack.
Yeah, Raazu is stunned, I know.
That is not going to make it. That's an 18 total to hit.
18 will hit. Does not
Well,
make it. You fire an arrow and it clatters against this guardian's shield, standing on the stairway.
Adrex just gives a look of disappointment to Birdie.
Adrex, moving or staying put?
Staying put.
All right, I got one last chance to kill Raazu here, I think. I get to roll.
Sorry,
one
Raazu.
damage.
I tried to goad it into attacking me.
Where's my critical hit at?
You don't deserve it.
Yeah, I guess not. Raazu, I have a 24 to hit you.
Yep.
11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
25 of necrotic.
Ooh.
And let's get that Constitution 16 saving throw.
I admire your insistence on them rolling the mummy rod, even though you know they're immune to it.
I'm just waiting for the one time it's not mummy rot.
It's Fummy Flot.
Pass on die.
You pass. Wouldn't matter if
Pass
you fail
on
your
die.
immune to disease.
Yeah, I figured.
But you just watch helplessly through eyes inside of a head that is swimming with the reverberations of this syllable that this creature spoke as it slams down into your face with its rotting fist. And that's going to bring us to
Yep.
Red.
Blotching.
Can Red be the guy right here? Can he do it?
Has Raazu regained her senses?
Not
She's
yet.
still
Mummy
stumped.
Lord,
Not
his
until-
turn has not come yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's attacking with legendary actions.
Yep.
That legendary mummy lord.
How beat up is Raazu?
She's bloodied.
Gonna shoot a potion into her mouth.
I was here, and I can't move through these spaces, right? I'd have to actually. That's just not possible.
Correct. That thing is in the way.
Drop my bow. 30 gets me to here. Does anything happen once I get there?
You need to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 16.
Is this against magic or a spell?
It's against very magic, yes. And you can see it, because it's gigantic and it's in front of you. It's a giant sword and cudgel.
That's 30.
A 30?
Yeah.
Okay. And the cudgel crashes down at you, but you're anticipating it. You duck out of the way as the thing hits the ground in an explosion of light, and you suffer no damage because you've got evasion.
Let's go ahead and toss a Dragonbone dagger at it.
Okay.
The mummy. That'll hit an armor class of... What's the throw? 9. That'll hit an armor class of 15.
15 doesn't do it.
Precise attack? 19?
19 will do it. Just barely.
Nice.
There's no sneak attack because she's incapacitated, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So that will be the ice damage.
Of all of the suboptimal things to happen, this is probably the most suboptimal right here.
This is what happens when we try to plan and be clever.
That's nine. It's 7 damage from the dagger, piercing, and 2 ice damage.
And all at once, all of the magic holding this thing, binding it to the world, dissipates. As the dagger finds purchase in the thing's neck, and it explodes into a cloud of dust. And Raazu, for a moment, you feel as this dust means to choke you to death. And then you feel your muscles come back, and you regain your senses, and you start choking out and coughing badly. The guardian standing in the stairway evaporates into a cloud of harmless light as the mummy lord is no more.
Rosa goes down to a knee, takes a few deep breaths. Got a huge ass bruise on her chest, underneath her armor.
Adrex, stepping into the room and looking around. It's difficult to see any details on the walls or the brickwork behind the thick roots, but you do see in the far back of the wall a humanoid kind of sized and shaped space amongst the roots where the Mummy Lord might have been transfixed at one point. All that's there now is a petrified tree branch of white wood with blue veins running through it and spiked with needles all around.
Did you describe the spiked with needles a little bit more? Like
needles, like you'd see on a...
pine tree.
Yeah, like a pine tree. Thank you.
Okay,
That's
sorry, I
what
thought it was like
looking
there was needles coming out of it, so if you grabbed it...
It looks like a Sony animated movie.
Could you, from my own memory, compare and contrast this between the branch that we saw earlier?
The first one you found was gray wood that had broad, kind of heart-shaped leaves that were blood red.
So, we've got more branches now.
Yeah.
If we open that up, is there like another... If we go to the back of the room and start like looking into the roots, can we find that? Because last one we found like a heart in the wall, right?
And
does it look like that sort of situation over here?
It does indeed. Reaching back, you do find a very similar, desiccated and wrapped up heart that's not beating or moving. Looks like it's been laying here for Lord knows how long.
Destroy this one as well.
I can't see any good that it could do here.
How are we destroying it?
I'll use... How about we use one of my daggers, the cold ones. I can't remember what the name for that is.
Dragonbone.
Dragonbone, thank you. Dragonbone daggers.
Get some Dragonbone daggers and shred it like it's pulled pork.
Yeah, just stab it a few times.
Okay.
Raazu picks up the Dragonbone dagger that fell to the ground after Red put it and hands it back to him.
Already grabs his torch.
Good throw.
Thanks. And Red kind of just whips the second, kind of like slips the second dagger in his offhand back into his belt. Didn't even need the second one.
It's a
giant torch you got there, Birdie.
It's bigger than I am. Just holding it in two hands.
Looks like you guys are carrying Reese's Pieces from way up here.
From up here in the sky. So,
gross.
Does anyone see any way to go forward besides somehow trying to scale that pit or opening up this door over here that's been indwarfed?
Just the possibility of fucking with the wall, but I don't think we really want to do that. Like in case there's a secret passage or something behind it.
The two branches, maybe?
Birdie lays the torch on top of the shredded remains of the heart.
Can we legend lore one of the branches?
Yeah, we have the legend lore thing. The question is, do we want to use it on that or the dwarf to maybe find out where these people came from?
Well,
I feel like the branches are more likely to tell us something useful. Whereas the dwarf might just give us interesting history.
Well, if we do it on
history
the
can be
dwarf,
useful.
if we do it on the
It
dwarf,
can
we
be.
might see what he's trying to keep from coming through the door.
That's also true.
Which Birdie would say if he could speak.
So branches then? I think maybe we should hole up somewhere and just kind of take a nice long sit after this.
Yeah, let's give the branches a try, at least one of them, and then maybe post sit. We'll examine the dwarf.
Which branch are you legend loring?
How about the most recent one, the one that we just picked up?
The
With
one
the
with
needles.
needles? Okay.
The one with the pine needles.
And you guys are doing that in this room here with all the burned remains of these mummies?
Yes.
Hey, this door opened or closed?
Let's pull the door closed.
Okay, and the broken, shattered iron bars containing zombie lithids clearly in view?
Yeah, we're good with that.
Okay. You take the spellstone of legend lore and discharge the magic into this branch. And you see a slender elven man in red and gold livery with a heavy winter cloak, furs draped across his shoulder, trudging through the snow towards a great tree that's made out of the same kinds of wood as this branch you just found. The wood itself is white, and for a moment you think it's itself covered in snow, but you realize no, the wood and the branches itself are white, and it has great green needles coming off of it in lieu of leaves. And he climbs up into the tree and snaps off one of the branches. And he opens his pack, where he has what you think at first is a scroll case. Maybe too large to hold a standard scroll, like maybe a large map case. But when he takes the top off of it and unrolls the leather of the case, you see inside are laying 2 other branches this man has already collected. One of which that you've seen, the gray one with the blood red leaves. And another one which you have not yet seen, which is in my notes somewhere, a gold wood with silver leaves. He speaks some words of incantation over the branch that he just broke off this tree, then lays it down in this case, rolls the leather back up over, reaffixes the top, and begins trudging away from the tree. Make an Arcana check. You can make this check at advantage.
Okay.
Because you are skilled in a variety of weapons.
That would be a 20.
You watched him select a few branches on this tree and examine them closely and reject a few of them before he selected one to break off.
Mm-hmm.
The one that he took, as well as the 2 that were already in his case, were long and straight and narrow. These would be perfect branches to forge arrows with.
Yep.
And from that you extrapolate that there's some kind of evil that this wood must be good at slaying for some reason. But the arrows were never made, because 2 of these 3 branches you have now found.
And, well, when Wendy comes out of the trance, she relates all that, and then says, does anyone feel like they have any skill in making wood metal points? Because otherwise I'll try to carve a few out of stone.
I mean, we could just take arrowheads off of existing arrows.
That's true. Good call, Birdie.
If the material is being made of an arrow, shouldn't you just have a sharp wooden point at the end? That's the property of the wood.
No, because you won't be able to fire it through the air. And then Wendy goes into a long, detailed description of how the wind will act on the rod as it's sailing through the air and get sent in a different direction.
I thought the fletchings handled that.
They do, and then discussion goes up again.
So while they're
Adrex
doing
is
that,
trying really hard to focus on the conversation, but is clearly way above him.
So while they're doing that, Birdie is digging through his pack, and he takes the bundle of... We've got these pitch black arrows. We got 7 of them. And we don't know if they're actually magic, but I guess we could use them if we're trying to make magic arrows. Oh, wait, we have a wand of detect magic now. What? I'm going to use the wand of detect magic on the pitch black arrows.
In my head, he just unfurled the arrows and then remembered the wand.
Where did you get these arrows from?
I do not remember.
Okay.
This has been a very long time. We got them
So
from the orcs, I think. I think we got them from the orcs.
I don't have pitch black arrows listed anywhere on my magic items sheet, so I'm going to assume that these are just descriptive arrows you got from somewhere that are not magical.
We were given they were given to us as a gift, I think, by the orcs at the dam.
So probably just well made, not magic.
Right.
Oh, the ones you got from Mogdor Dam. Oh no, those are definitely enchanted. Yeah, these are magic arrows.
Yeah, you just described them to us as pitch black, so that's what I wrote them down as way back when. Okay, so we have
the actual nature of the arrows you don't know, but...
Alright, well... Birdie, I don't know how to make a magic item, but I'm pretty sure it's not from jamming a magic thing on top of another magic thing, because I did that once and it didn't work. So, in my mind, the property of this arrow that would be helpful is that once you've used the point to drive the arrow into whatever creature, just the wood of the arrow being inside of that creature is what does the drives the magic.
Birdie, make an Arcana check as Wendy is describing this to you.
Do you think that if
Oh
I drink
boy, that's a 1.
A 1?
Yeah,
Okay, I mean, you rolled a 1.
sounds reasonable to me.
Does it? Okay.
So, do you think that if I drink of a potion of enlarge while
Yeah.
enlarged,
Yes.
that won't double my size again?
Well, I think that if you pour a potion of enlarge into another potion of enlarge and then drink them both, I don't think that'll double your size.
You should just get
So if we pour a potion of enlarge into a potion of contagion, will we create giant diseased creatures?
Or
Ooh.
big germ. Big pharma.
That sounds like a waste of a potion of enlarge.
All the mummies come back to life and end this terrible conversation. Where are
This
you
is
going
a great
with this?
conversation. What are you talking about?
I guess I'm going to, since I now have 1 empty quiver because I'm down below 20 arrows, I'm going to put the magic arrows that I have in the empty quiver, so I'm carrying.
Okay. Well, presumably, if they're arrows, you're already carrying them in a quiver.
Well, I had them wrapped up in the one, like, because we didn't know if they were magic. I didn't want to shoot them,
Just
so
poking out the back of your pack.
I had them wrapped up.
Okay.
That makes sense. I buy it.
What's next?
Okay.
Did we actually take a rest, or was that just using the Legend Lore Stone?
I was just using the Legend Lore Stone. I think we take a rest. How's that sound, everyone?
Birdie's
like
already
rests.
asleep.
Rests are good.
So what kind of rest are you taking, and where is this happening?
I feel like we want the long rest this time.
Okay.
I feel
Yeah,
like we
I think we
attempt
should
for a
take it
long rest,
here.
and we should take it. So I feel like our back is pretty safe over here.
Unless the evil vines.
But
do
icky
something to it.
mummies. But icky
Well,
mummies dust.
It wasn't that the vines were evil, it's that the vines were used to fight evil, right? Or did I misunderstand that?
Well,
I don't wanna
the
take a
wood
rest
of
in here
the wood
because-
of the arrows was definitely used to fight evil.
Yeah.
You know what we
I
could
don't
do?
want to take a rest in there because icky mummy dust. I think here is the best.
We could put our backs against Mr. Dwarf Man.
Yeah,
I think we should.
feel good about it.
That's a
I
good
think
idea.
we should take our rest in the room with the giant pit, because if we need to, we can spike a pit and then run a rope down and slide down the rope. There's only 2 ways in, and one of them. Okay, there are 3 ways in, but 2 of them are very difficult climbs.
It's fair.
All right, so let's rest then with the rope in there, so we don't have
Sure.
to spike a pit in.
Okay.
So I'll run a rope down, and we'll take a rest.
What is the order of watches?
Red will take first watch.
Raazu will take second.
I'll take the third
Aid.
one.
Okay. You can't talk.
You can
Raazu,
talk.
what's your perception like?
Right, I probably
11.
shouldn't take a rest then. I mean,
I'll
I mean,
take
Yeah,
I'll take a watch with Raazu, just because I might be able to hear something. So Razu's
So
in charge
Red,
of sight. I'm
then
in charge of
Raazu
hearing.
and Wendy, then Birdie, then Adrex, in that order? Do I have that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and take the benefits of a short rest.
You got it.
I'm out of hit die, so
The
I
benefits
get
of
that.
short rest. I
Precise
get
attack
heat.
die back.
Birdie,
yep.
partway through your watch, are you guys lighting a fire at all?
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Okay.
With what?
One of the torch that Raazu's carrying around.
I mean, like, what are we burning?
I'm assuming that you guys have tinder and to light fires with. Like, I wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it, but okay. Who is actually carrying the fuel for your campfire? No, I don't care that
I
much.
don't use Tinder, I use Scruff.
He just rubs a torch on his face until it ignites.
I got it, McDohl. I got your back. I got your back, McDohl.
Thank
I
you.
got you.
Thank you, fellow gay man.
So
Thank you.
I assume Brick Road got it, just made a good joke.
I was trying to steer it away from the gay thing. Okay.
Why?
Sorry, I've derailed this.
Listen, it's possible to be too gay, okay?
Mm,
I've seen Utena, and it's pretty good.
I like how whoever drew the rope actually drew it correctly. That's very nice. Birdie,
Yep.
shortly after your watch, let's get a Constitution saving throw from everybody who's asleep. DC is
Is this
12.
against magic or a spell?
It is not.
Raazu, where are you sleeping?
Pretty close to wherever we had the fire going.
So
Sleeping near Raazu is the best.
Sleeping
Feels so
Raazu.
safe.
that's a 10 thanks to Raazu.
22.
24.
Adrex?
Is Adrex a heavy sleeper?
22.
22.
Sorry.
So Red got a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Birdie,
Mm-hmm.
a little while into your rest, so into the 5th or 6th hour, you feel more than hear a rumbling in the earth as though things are shaking and quaking beneath you. Red, it's not a very violent shake, but it's enough to jostle you awake, and you sit up alarmed. Everybody else is still sleeping. The shaking is not enough to wake all of them up.
You said it's coming from below us?
It feels like the earth below you is trembling a little bit. And if you
Can
concentrate
I
very,
shake
very hard...
Raazu awake?
Yeah, you can wake Raazu up.
Okay.
Raazu, you're
What?
awoken.
What?
Do you feel that?
And by this point, the rumbling is like starting to die away, and it's just the very faint echoes of it. Raazu, you're not sure if you felt it or not.
I don't feel anything. Why are you waking me up? I just got back to sleep.
Birdie looks over the edge of the hole.
You look down, and the rope disappears into the darkness below.
Goes back to poking the fire.
Okay.
The poker, the fire attacks you.
Red,
Throws
if
arrows.
Red says nothing to her, she rolls over and tries to go back to sleep.
Okay. Red, what are you doing?
Flipping a dagger back and forth in his hand, unconsciously.
Okay.
Just sort of listening.
Are you going to stay awake for the rest of the night through Adrex's watch?
No, after about 5 minutes, I'll try and go back to sleep.
Go ahead and take the benefits of the long rests. I need Birdie, Red, and Adrex to make a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
Am I close enough to Raazu to get the +5 for this?
That is a crit.
22.
That is a 33.
This is a weird edge case, actually. I'm gonna have to take a
Raazu.
second. What's that class feature actually called, Raazu?
Which one?
The one that gives people bonuses to their saving throws?
Divine Aura.
Divine Aura.
Let me just double check that real quick.
I guess I'm not within.
Aura of Protection. I'm sorry. 85 in the player's handbook.
Thank you.
Oh, I guess I'm not actually in range, so that would be a 28.
When you make a saving throw during a rest, you can just assume you're in range of Raazu. I'm assuming you guys
Alright.
are.
Then 33.
Yeah. We're not...
That everybody just.
It's the
feels
reason I
safer
woke
close to
Raazu up.
Oh, while I'm conscious. Okay, so you didn't get the benefits of that while Raazu asleep. Might be.
So yeah, you don't get any benefit if she's asleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, good thing.
Then
28.
it's going to be I think a 17? Yeah.
12.
28.
Oh, and if it matters, then that earlier con save was a 5 brick instead of a 10.
No, that still would have failed. You still would have woke up.
Okay.
Double fail.
Well, if you fail by 5 or more, you get sucked into the voids of the earth. You know, that happens sometimes.
This is such a weird edge case, but I can't explain why it's an edge case. I'm gonna have to
Explain it
rule
later.
that Aura of Protection does not apply in this case. So
Well, yeah,
you know-
because she's asleep. But we already said
even
it's
if she
'cause she's
wasn't,
unconscious.
though, it wouldn't apply in this
Okay.
case. So,
well,
who got less than a 16 on that saving throw?
Birdie did.
Birdie did. Birdie, go ahead and take the benefits of a long rest, but then reduce your maximum hit points by 11. And the next day, as you guys are dousing your fire and collecting your gear and ready to set off again, you notice that Birdie is once again exhibiting the symptoms of mummy rot. So you can raise your max hit points back to what it was from the previous mummy rot, but now you've contracted it again, and you're knocked back down by 11.
Raazu sees the telltale signs, sighs and starts futzing with her poultices again. Takes a few minutes and mixes together the chi tea.
If we made that con save, we don't have rot anymore.
Well, none of you had it when you went to sleep last night. Birdie failed that Constitution saving throw, and when he woke up, he showed symptoms again.
I asked because I did have the HP penalty.
So yeah, your HP is restored at the end of the long
Thank you.
rest. If your HP was reduced by one of the 37 mummies you fought last week, it is restored.
Yeah, Adrex was first penguin with that shit, so...
And it would be reasonable to expect at least one more mummy lord, so...
Yeah, so I will...
So you guys break camp, and what's next?
So yeah, Birdie is no longer under the effects of mummy rot, because I'm starting off 5 points down for that.
Okay.
Can you use that to let him talk again?
It's not a disease or a poison.
No.
Some kind of magical effect.
So you want to check out the dwarf?
Wendy looks askance at Raazu, not sure whether or not to believe her that that's the reason she can't cure Birdie of his void.
Raazu's
I've already
started his thing. It's not a disease, so...
Dang.
You got nothing that can be done.
It's magical in nature. Sorry.
So what's next?
Light another torch and on we go.
On we
Think
go
we're-
where?
I think we should go there and try to open that door.
Really?
I mean, what are the odds that the horrible, awful thing that the dwarf was trying to bar the door from are still there?
I mean, my thought is probably there might be more to this place. We might need that third branch.
Also,
I mean,
Rose
he deliberately turned himself to gold, which means forever. So...
Wait a minute. There's one place that we really haven't taken a good look at, and that's the cell back here behind the pain wall.
Yeah,
I
it's
forgot
behind the pain wall.
The danger wall.
I thought that was self-explanatory.
Are we going to check out the danger wall?
Yeah, I think we should try and...
Let's go ahead and take our break before we do danger wall.
Okay.
We'll take 15 minutes. I'm going to go let my dogs out. You guys go ahead and get your coffee, get your bagel. We will reconvene at about 4:45.